Can we start with Josh? He's obviously just been awarded a testimonial from the RFL.
Yeah.
I think he's top meter maker in Super League at the moment, 4 tries. Just your thoughts on Josh, really?
Yeah, I think Josh came to our club sort of late season last year and was in a pretty mixed up place, to be honest with you, and a bit frustrated about where he'd been previously and not in a happy place. But once he's arrived here, we communicated with him what his role was for us last year, keeping in mind, understanding that where the team was at, and Josh was communicated about just making sure he gave himself a really big off-season this year to get right. And he's been in our 2 best players in that pre-season. So it's a reward for him and the hard work that he's put in that time. He's led the way with the way we've trained, the way he's trained, both at training and his own personal training outside. So I think he's certainly led the way for other players on how to be professional with your preparation. And it's no luck that he's now one of Super League's leading players.
He touched on it without going into great detail, and you've just mentioned it there, Lammy, that he said he was close to quitting last year. He was, he's so fed up at Warrington. So I guess you played a big part in resurrecting his career, because he said he's buzzing again now.
Yeah, no, he's a great character and a very popular member of the group. And when you can give the players some direction on where they're going to be and what they're going to be, I think they feel like they want to play. And part of the key is to make sure that each player is happy, and as soon as you get that, I think performance follows that. So, but to give him credit, he's certainly led the way, as I said again, with the way he's trained and all of his preparations away from LSV here. There's been absolutely top class, and I can't commend him enough. And he started the season in the trials sort of like not too bad, but as each game's gone on, he's gotten back to where people remembered him for in those days at Wigan and Warrington.
Sorry, I keep having to unmute myself. He didn't play in the grand final, did he? I don't think against Batley last year either.
No, but like I said, he got here halfway through the year, and we sort of had a settled team. And the communications with him was about he was going to play a role in the club this year, and if anything had to happen, he would have come in. But he understood his role for what it was for 2022. So it's credit to him that he's knuckled down and playing on an edge there where he's getting a lot of ball as well.
Just go back to the St Helens game, Lammy. You've obviously reviewed it a few times. What are your thoughts now, a few days on?
It just pleased for the whole group, the whole town. It's something that we needed. I felt, we've been close in the first 2 matches, and to come up with nothing but sitting in the dressing room there, exhausted at the end of the game. There's plenty of effort and energy, but just lacked some smart. So, I was really pleased with the way that we played against St Helens, especially the second half. But I still feel that we've got 3 or 4 levels to go up to, and that's the challenge for the group. I think we celebrated that night because it was a big moment for the club. With St Helens being the world champs and coming here for the first time since then, and we certainly had a really big crowd here that was entertained, and both with the band and also with the rugby side of it.
So you did it without sort of 3, 4 key players. So what's your squad looking like for this week?
Yeah, it won't change too much. We'll give Jack Hughes every opportunity to be fit, same as what we did last week to be in at 17. Apart from that, Joey Wardle looks like going in for an operation, which will be long term, 3 months minimum for him with a ruptured pectoral muscle. So, we've only got a small squad, but things like that sort of hurt us. But at least, if there's a positive out of it, it's towards the start of the season where he'll come back with 2 or 3 months left in the season. So we'll get on with that, and I guess give someone another opportunity to get into that 17.
It's an obvious question, I'm afraid, but if Joe's out for that length of time, do you have to recruit at this stage, or can you sort of survive for those 3 months with the squad you've got?
Oh no, we're always looking. I'm very happy with what we have at the moment, albeit a small squad, but we've known that from the very start. So we're communicating with different people all the time on in regards to building our squad, and I think the team that played last week was a team without Joe Wardle in there. So we've just got to get on with it and like I said, an opportunity for someone else within the group. You're just muted still, mate.
Sorry, Matt's on here, so he may ask you something about Warrington, but from that pre-season friendly in the Ben Curry testimonial, how far have you progressed, and have you progressed at the rate that you expected and hoped for?
Yeah, well, we had 2 friendlies. One was against Leeds and one was against Warrington, as you mentioned, and I thought we were there or thereabouts in that game, and a lot of improvement from there. But we had 8. Like I've been quite vocal about the 8 players making their debut in round 1. So I think every week is an opportunity for the players to play together and form those combinations. So we're 1 week closer to where we need to be, but it usually takes about 10 games at the start of the season to get those players understanding each other. So we're building slowly. We've had 2 good wins in a row now, which is great for the group because we worked hard in that pre-season and playing some decent rugby as well. But I know there's a lot of improvement left in us, and that's the direction we're heading in.